Johnny, another all-female card in this country, absolutely stacked with incredible fights. But first of all, how special is the Albert Hall as a setting for this show?
It's an outstanding setting. It's absolutely beautiful. I boxed there. I think Natasha probably would have been 15 when I boxed there back in the day. It's outstanding. Muhammad Ali's boxed there. They've had amazing events there. You go inside, if you've never been before, you'll be blown away. So is it International Women's Day? So for that to be the second big show, all girls show, it'd be good. And you know what? The fights are good too. It's not just piling it high. They're making sure they're getting good competitive fights on.
This is the thing, I've heard a few people saying it. I was speaking to Karisati still before, she said it. The consensus is this might be a better top to bottom card than the O2 one.
Well, I think the reason for that is that I think as women's boxing has grown, so has the talent, because you either had outstandingly good and just really bad. Now they're filling in between, and now all of a sudden it's coming through, and you can see with shows like this, they're exciting fights from top to bottom.
And a main event worthy of that setting, Natasha, Jonas, Lauren Price, 3 of the 4 welterweight titles on the line. Just tell us why this is one of the biggest fights in British boxing.
You've got 2 Olympians, historical Olympians, and you've got one of them, that's the young Lauren Price at 30 years old. She's hungry, she's ambitious, she's thirsty, she wants it, she's angry, she's snapping at the bit. And you've got the calm, cool 40-year-old in Natasha Jonas. Natasha's been there. She's worn the T-shirt numerous amount of times, and surprisingly, she's classed as an underdog as well in this. And I can understand why. That's only because of her age. But people are forgetting her skill set. She's got a lot more skill than Lauren. She's just not got the youth, and that's the only thing that you'd have to lean away from her for. The fact that she's not 30 years old.
And as someone who's played both roles, which is the hardest to do? Is it hardest to come in as the veteran that people might be writing off a little bit, or is it harder to come in as the younger fighter that everyone expects big things from?
Wow. You know what? If you're the veteran, the one thing you can't buy, borrow, pretend to have, and that's experience and wisdom. And so that's what the veteran brings to the table. The young gun, that's hungry. You've got naivety, you've got pace, and I think pace will be the key in this fight. Natasha has to control the pace. If she controls the pace, she wins. If she doesn't, she loses. It's that simple.
And how much do you think we could take away from those 2 fights they had at Collision Course? Obviously, Price scoring the big knockout against Bexy Mateus, and then in that main event, Ivana Habazin took Jonas the distance, but Jonas got the job done, won the title. How much do you think we can learn from those 2 fights?
Okay, we'll look at historically, and trust me, I'm not comparing the 2. Remember when George Foreman boxed Ali? They said Ali was old. You know, Ali had to try and control the pace of this young man, and that's what it is. So you looked at Ali's performance and compared it to Foreman's knocking out everybody performance. You know, Foreman knocked people that Ali struggled with over 12 rounds, and so therefore it'd be easy to be fooled by that. But it's styles make fights, and I think these 2 styles will gel unbelievably.
And I'm going to put you on the spot, Johnny, as I'm sure a lot of people will today, but I'm going to ask you to call it. Which way do you think this goes?
I call it, if Natasha doesn't control the pace, she loses. If she does control the pace, she gets it. She got far too much skill. But if she doesn't, she loses the fight.
I think another great fight on the undercard, Karisati still, who we mentioned before, going in with Raven Chapman, who's coming straight off a world title defeat to Sky Nicholson, going into another hard fight.
No, but Raven Chapman's she's not silly, because it makes her a dangerous opponent, because she thinks she's got something extra to prove. So if Karisati's thinking, you know what, we sparred, I know her, she lost the last fight, she's on the down, no. Usually when that happens, you come back, you want to prove to everybody, no, I've got a lot more to prove here. Good fight.
And somebody that we're all very excited to see in a pro ring for the first time, Cindy Nagamba, incredible talent in the amateurs, did everything there is to do pretty much. What do you think we're going to see from her as she switches over to the pros?
I've seen her at the AIS in Sheffield, an outstanding individual. She's got so much skill. I think, you look at the opponent she's picked, she's not picked no pushover for a first professional fight. So therefore you've got to think this girl's something special, and Ron McCracken would make sure to be smart about it as well, doing that.
And just finally, I want to ask, what is your pick from the rest of the card? Who do you think everybody should be tuning in to watch?
Francesca Hennessy. I just like her style. I like the growth of this young girl. Outstanding young girl.
Johnny Nelson, thank you for speaking with us.
You're welcome.